I think for me, that first visit, when we approached the site, you get on the gondola in the ski resort, you go to the top of a mountain.
Let's enter the Zenith.
I think inside Snøhetta we try to work in a very collaborative way. So we have the architects, the landscape architects, the interior architects, all working on the project at the same time from the very start. And I think we all look at things in a slightly different way, and in a way the transdisciplinary approach allows us to do that, you know, to be there on day one, to experience a site together from the very start and give each other different ideas and different takes on what it is we're doing.
I think when we originally came here, we spent a few days on the mountain together. I think we felt that this feeling of being on the summit together was really important. When we came here originally, there was this beautiful sky of stars that we could look up to, and we could really feel this moment of being on the mountain but beneath the stars. And we found this word Zenith that really represented this sort of Zen feeling of being on the top of the mountain. You actually just stop and listen. That sound is just amazing.
The wind and then also the
crunch
sound of the crunch.
Everything is heightened in a way.
Yeah.
As you proceed down the hill, which is just at the background here, and you can't see it today, you have this incredible view of Mount Yote.
No, I think, you know, the experience of earlier, of, you know, walking up the mountain, being in this nature, coming to visit the site, we felt the experience was really the concept in itself. For a long time, our projects have been about topography, and I think we've tried to sort of capture that in the form of the building in a way. When you arrive, the building meets you. You know, it sort of, when you arrive, the building greets you. It opens up underneath, and you enter it from the back. And then as you move through, you will sort of change the level, and the building will move down to meet the ground, changing your horizon slightly and changing your experience as you with the ground and the topography itself. And then as you meet Yote, it also then opens back up again to lift the building up to see the view. So the building will change as the topography changes as well. I mean, I think when we first started this project, we were quite keen for it to be very elemental. When you enter that environment, the sound, the cold, actually, you know, when you get the sun here, it's also very intense. And I think we wanted the project to be quite elemental, so we looked at the use of fire, we looked at the use of water, stone, feeling of cold, feeling of hot. So at the centre of the project is this sort of communal area around the fireplace that goes right into the core of the building itself, goes to the under spaces, which are the underground spaces, which is the spa area itself. So when you're down in the spa, you'll be able to look up into the sky and experience the sky as an element, but you'll look through this kind of fire element as you view that. So almost like stone, fire, water of the spa, and then the sky above. And that's also then the central gathering place for people in the lounge area in this sunken fire pit. So it's very much so the centre of the building becomes this kind of multi-layered experience as you move throughout the building, and you sort of meet and greet that space in different ways. And I think breaking those elements down allowed us to think about the different programme uses in the building as well. So spirit, mind and body, as I said earlier. And I think what we tried to do with the different bars is, one is immersed within the mountain itself, so really part of the ground, paying respect to the mountain itself and trying to immerse you in an experience of the mountain. The other bar is then floating on top, almost as a more sculptural quality, connecting a little bit more to the air, to the sky.
But I think one of the things that has hit us the most has been the seasonal change in this area. How different it is in the winter compared to the summer, And I think that will be an incredible thing to experience when the building's here as well, is how the actual building evolves to suit that. I think in the winter it's really it'll become almost part of the mountain, hidden within the snow. But as the season changes and the transitions of the seasons change, you'll see it emerging almost as a sculptural item within the nature itself.
I mean, it's really interesting in that the architecture starts beyond itself in a way. You know, we always talk about buildings that are slightly greater than themselves. You know, they reach out into the landscape, they capture the imagination before you go there. I think this one is as much about the journey as it is about the arrival, actually. I mean, it's really about having that level of experience on the mountain that you never quite reach that point in a way sometimes, but it's that approach and that sort of removal from the everyday is really part of the process of then entering the architecture. So if the project allows for that experience to be architectural, that would be great. And I hope the building will allow for spaces that really bring people together in the nature.